Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
The holidays are a joyous time. If alcohol is going to be a part of your holiday celebrations, plan ahead and arrange a safe ride home. Santa's watching, and so is law enforcement. Brought to you by Raise the Bar in partnership with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Did you know that Harrah's Auction Casino is your key to nationwide fun? That's right. You'll unlock perks at more than 50 destinations from coast to coast at your local home for Caesars Rewards. Free dining in Atlantic City? Yes. Free slot play in Maricopa? You bet. Free hotel stays in New Orleans? Oh, yeah. What are you waiting for? Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds, because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
The Tuesday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass. He's ready to take your phone calls. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today. You can also watch us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel, where we've got the live stream going as well. Producer Evan, if you don't mind, I'm going to call an audible, because I know our rundown says one thing, but I got to the line. I looked at the defensive coverage. I didn't like the play. I'm going with a different play, because I got to break out this fancy little sheet here that is the Phoenix Suns schedule, and I got to add a W to the list.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
It's all right with you, Producer Evan. I want to start today with the Phoenix Suns, mainly because it's the happier of the stories that we have in hour number one of the program. That's right. The Phoenix Suns go on the road to Minnesota, and they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. A few hours earlier, we said they don't stand a chance against the Minnesota Timberwolves after what we saw on Friday night against Houston. Boy, should we never doubt this team again. And that is the message from this game last night. This team is showing you time and time again. They're never going to get caught flat-footed. They're never going to get caught being unprepared. They are never going to mail in a game. They are always going to bring it. And I think that's because of players like Dylan Brooks. I think it's because of players like Grayson Allen. I think it's because of players like Colin Gillespie. The energy level is just different this year around this team, and you see it. that game against Minnesota, they've got a superstar on the other side of the court last night in Anthony Edwards. They've got a superstar that should take over that game 10 out of 10 times and dominate the way that he did, and his team should win that game. That game shouldn't be close in the fourth quarter. That game shouldn't be in a position for the Phoenix Suns to win the game. Yet, they kept coming. They kept coming. They kept coming. Do you know that Minnesota's first lead in that game last night wasn't until midway through the third quarter? No Devin Booker, no Jalen Green. Minnesota's got Edwards on the other side. What did he drop last night? 40? What was the final tally for Anthony Edwards in that game last night? It was a big night.
It was a huge night. Let's bring up the box
Superstar
score.
on the other side. Putting up big numbers.
Anthony Edwards had 40 points in 38 minutes, 15 of 21 from the field.
Suns don't have a player like that in last night's game. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because they got a great coach. Doesn't matter because they have a great roster, and they just keep coming. They will not give up. And to me, this game last night, win or lose, but even better in a win, tells you everything you need to know about this coaching staff. Everything. You now know. I'm comfortable saying this. What are we now? 24, 25 games into this season for the Phoenix Suns? They got a coach. They've got a head coach that can coach for a very long time in this league. They have the right guy. If they can get this roster sorted out, if they can get through some of the cap situations with the contracts that they still have on the books, right? They had to waive and stretch Bradley Beal. They're limited in what they're able to do. They don't have a ton of draft capital. If they can get through the slog here, they can get through the mud of their current financial and draft pick situation, they've got a coach that can win a championship. That's what I've learned 24, 25 games into the season. They've got a coach because he had his team in a position to win that game, and they did. They were 7.5-point underdogs on the road in Minnesota without a superstar. All 5 starters score in double figures, so a more complete effort across the board. Dylan Brooks takes over the game. You see the impact that Colin Gillespie had, throwing up lob passes to Mark Williams. Mark Williams knocking down a 3-point shot in that game last night. And you had everything that you needed to drum up an upset on the road in Minnesota. And yes, you had the play that I think changed the course of the game. Rudy Gobert with that elbow to Mark Williams, flagrant 2, thrown out of the game, changed the complexion of how Minnesota plays. He's the center of that defense. He is they build around him defensively, losing him in that game. And I love how he acts shocked when they announce that it's a flagrant 2 and he's out of the game. Really? You threw a forearm into a dude's ribcage. That's not a basketball play. That's not a hard foul. Guy's up in the air, going up for a dunk. You're out of position. You're not there, so you just throw an elbow into him. It's cheap. It's a cheap shot. It's low. So I'm not surprised that he got tossed from the game. His reaction being shocked. Shame on you, Rudy Gobert. You can't be throwing forearms into people. What's wrong with you? And then he acts like, oh, what did I do? Well, how could they call this on me? You threw an elbow, a forearm, directly into a dude's ribcage. And I know they when they review the play, they have all these fancy words, excessive bodily harm. What was exactly they said? It was a play that has a propensity for injury or something like that. I don't know. A lot of fancy words to say you can't do that. Fancy words to say that's a dirty play. A lot of fancy words to say you're out of the game, bud. A lot of fancy words to get to that point. But the Phoenix Suns pick up a massive win on the road last night against Phoenix. And so I'm done doubting this team. I'm done doubting the coaching staff. I'm done doubting their ability to be competitive. I'm not going to pick them to win tomorrow night against Oklahoma City, but I am not going to doubt their ability to compete with Oklahoma City. And I know Oklahoma City on a different tier, but this team is telling you they're going to show up. I think I read a stat this morning that the Suns are now 6-2 in games in which they've seen the opponent already this season. So you see a team, you played them once already, and when you see them again, the Suns are 6-2 in those games. That's coaching, man. That's preparation. That's making adjustments. That's having the buy-in of the team. This is what we did last time. It didn't work. We're going to do this, and it leads to great results. Now, if they're able to do that against Oklahoma City, who they've played already this season, and they played a very competitive game in which they lost. And by the way, while it wasn't maybe 17-18 Spurs or Utah Jazz, that's kind of the defensive effort you're going to need here moving forward.
I mean, at times it felt like it, right? They had 105, and that game very well could have been 101, 103, right? And defensively, the Suns were great. And I think you pointed out best. They don't make the same mistakes.
They don't make the same mistake twice. They'll make a mistake because they're young, brand new head coach. They've got young players. They've got new players that are trying to find their roles. They'll make mistakes. And we said that was going to be a part of this year. But they will never make the same mistake twice. They are learning from their mistakes. How many times last year did we say, it's clear, this is what the problem is. Fix the problem. And Coach Bud and this Suns organization would not fix the problem. They wouldn't do anything to address the issue that everybody sees. This team, you know that if you see something in a game, the next time you see that those two teams play or the next time out, the Suns aren't going to make that mistake. Now, turnovers and being sloppy, that just comes with playing sports, right? You're going to have off nights where you have those things happen to you. But in general, fundamental type stuff, they are never going to make the same mistake twice. And last night, one of the more impressive wins so far of the season, they're now at 14 wins for the year. Remember, their win total before the season, 30.5. They are getting close to the midway point, not even the midway point through the season. So well on pace to blow past 30.5, which was their insulting win total. I mean, you texted me. This was towards the end of the game, if not when the game was over.
I think it just ended.
And it was a gif of Kawhi Leonard. And you said the 17-18 Spurs. Because that's what we thought this team was going to have to do. You were going to have to play your tails off defensively. You just don't have the scoring. You don't have the guys. Now, I got to tell you, it is so much fun watching Dillon Brooks when he's in that mode.
It is.
When Dillon Brooks, now everything, and they said this on the broadcast last night, everything flows through Dillon Brooks right now without Devin Booker, without Jalen Green. And last night he thrived in that role. And I do think some nights it's going to work, some nights it's not going to work, right? Some nights you're going to shoot 39% from the field, 14% from behind the three. And then there are going to be nights like last night where you're able to stay in the game. And it felt like every time Minnesota tried to go on a big run or counterpunch or throw that haymaker, the Suns were there. They weathered the storm. They responded. A lot of alley-oops at the basket. Colin Gillespie was tossing it up to Mark Williams. What a game from him, by the way. And you can just easily feel the difference 24 games in that he has had on this team. Just the difference that he can provide defensively. He also is able to rebound the basketball. He's able to score. This plan that the Suns have in order to keep him healthy has worked wonders so far this season. And that's why when you see what Rudy Gobert does to him, you hold your breath because you're like, he's having such a great season. And you can tell the impact that he is having on both ends of the floor, how he changes the identity. It's a very important word to keep in mind here on today's program. The identity of the Suns is very different than it was last year, and it's because of players like Dillon Brooks, and it is because of players like Mark Williams. And you saw last night that even without their top two scoring options, because they have an identity that is team-wide, their identity isn't, we're just Devin Booker. They have a team-wide identity. It allows them to be competitive in games like last night, and it allows them to win games like last night. Most impressive win of the season, you would say? Let me pull out the schedule here and see if there's one that I think is more impressive.
The most impressive win.
I mean, the game against Oklahoma City was impressive, but that was a loss. I look at their other wins. They beat Sacramento. They had the big comeback on opening night. They responded well against Utah after losing to them early on in the season. Maybe that first game against San Antonio was pretty impressive when San Antonio was at relatively full strength. I mean, they've already beaten this Minnesota team once this year.
What game is more impressive than winning a game 108, 105 on the road without your top two scoring options?
Yeah, I mean, again.
That is against the team right in front of you in the Western Conference standings.
Right, I'm not going to apologize for yesterday saying that I didn't think the Suns could win this game because you saw what you saw on Friday, and I don't think there's a massive difference between Houston and Minnesota. And you just feel like Houston had the star power. Houston had the depth. Minnesota's got the star power. Minnesota's got depth. How are you going to be able to withstand that for 4 quarters? And you're watching the game, and I think at halftime, probably many of you are thinking, okay, that's a great first half. Are they going to be able to sustain? And you see Minnesota take their first lead in the third quarter, and maybe you started to panic just a little bit of, okay, this is where the Suns kind of run out of gas. And they just never did. They were able to stay with it and stay in the game for 4 quarters. That's the most impressive part to me. And it extends to something that Eric over on the YouTube side of things is saying. Excited to see this team at full strength. Hopefully that will happen at some point. They have done all of this season, 14-10. all of this being in the 7th seed in the Western Conference, all of this playing a quarterfinal game in the NBA Cup tomorrow night. They've done all of it. Not a single game, start to finish at full strength. No, they had one game of Jalen Green. One full game of Jalen Green. He got hurt in the second game. So once this season, they've been at full strength in their 24 games that they've played. So yeah, I'd love to see this team at full strength because it can only get better when you have the two guys that are going to be the engine to your offense. So what an impressive win last night. Didn't think they had a chance to do it, but they did it, and they did it because they have an identity and they play really good, sound, fundamental team basketball, and because they have an excellent coach. I feel very comfortable saying it today. Jordan Knott is an excellent head coach. He knows what buttons to push. He knows how to make adjustments. He is showing you why the Suns made him their hire. And the alignment. You want to talk about being aligned. You can feel it in this coaching staff, the organization, the front office, down to the coaching staff. They are the alignment. And we laughed at that cut in the offseason to the point where it made it on our soundboard. That drop is not a joke at this point. That drop is this group, the alignment, dunking on all of us for how well this team's played for the first 24 games of the season. Last night was a coaching win. Give credit to the players, give credit to Dylan Brooks, give credit to Mark Williams, all 5 starters in double figures. The players went out there and executed, but that's a coaching win last night. Because certainly, would it have surprised you if it went the same way it did on Friday? You wouldn't be surprised by that, and they would have the built-in excuse. You would be like, yeah, they don't have Devin Booker. They don't have Jalen Green. How are they supposed to score? How are they supposed to keep up with these teams? You would understand it. And instead, you get something that is such a welcome surprise. You get a game that you didn't expect the team to win. You didn't expect them to be competitive, but they went out there and they did it. Shorthanded, they didn't make excuses for themselves. They didn't feel sorry for themselves. Dylan Brooks was banged up, and he's out there playing. Grayson Allen's been in and out of the lineup. He's in there playing. Colin Gillespie's still providing that energy. Mark Williams, everybody is bringing it. They're not feeling sorry for themselves that they didn't have Devin Booker and Jalen Green last night. Jordan Knott's certainly not feeling sorry. Jordan Knott's not giving games away. This roster's not saying, oh, we don't have a chance. They're fighting. And the thing you are learning about this team is they are always going to bring the fight. Is it going to be able to last for all 4 quarters against Oklahoma City tomorrow? I don't know. I don't think so. But are they going to bring the fight? I never doubt that the Suns are going to bring the fight. They brought the fight in the first quarter against Houston. It's a bad second quarter. They got cold shooting, and it ended their ability to stay in the game. Against Minnesota last night, totally different story. So a coaching win, and just easily, I think, the most impressive win so far of the season. And now it is a game tomorrow against Oklahoma City in the NBA Cup quarterfinal.
And if they win that,
I mean,
I just want
to give them the Coach of the Year trophy now. They win that game tomorrow. You can submit the ballots. You can end it. Give Jordan Knott the Coach of the Year trophy already.
I'm interested
in his odds.
I
mean, he's low. We looked at this a couple of weeks ago off air. I don't remember if we had the conversation on air. I remember us looking at it, and I thought it was crazy the value that you could get on Jordan Knott. The team's going to make the playoffs.
It's interesting because I don't know really the NBA coaching, like the NFL Coach of the Year award. You need to make the jump. Right? They never give it to the best team.
No, it's a narrative award.
It's a narrative award. Like this year, they're going to give it to New England or Vrabel.
Right, Mike Vrabel.
So it is the best team, but they're making that jump in his first year. And in the NBA, I feel like it typically goes to the best team.
I mean, the coaching job. I mean, they win any other game this month, and they got plenty on their schedule that they can win. They're going to be already halfway to their win total, well before we get to the halfway point of the season. I mean, they've got to win 6 more games this month to get to 20. I see at least 3 wins on their schedule, at least, of the 6 that they need. They're going to get to 20 before you know it.
Right now, you can get Jordan Knott at plus 1,200. Currently 5th in odds.
That's value.
Dagnall is above him.
Now that's the problem. Is there's going to be a historic season in Oklahoma City?
Yeah, Bickerstaff is in front of him. Spoelstra and Rajab. I don't know how to say his name.
The coach in Do you know what city he's in? I can't, just so you know how this works, I can't see your screen from all the way over here.
Yes, no,
and you didn't even attempt to pronounce his name, which credit to you.
The Raptors coach.
Okay, you took the L.
Darko, and I can't say his last name.
You could have just went with Darko. That would have worked. We would have all understood that.
Yes, I could have. But on DraftKings, sometimes they got him.
Oh, did it just have the D?
Yeah.
I understand. Yep. I got you. Big win for the Suns last night. Some momentum building, perhaps. It's Oklahoma City tomorrow, but that's a big coaching win. And man, you look at games like that and you just feel very confident that the Suns have themselves a great head coach. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we mentioned the word identity when it came to the Phoenix Suns. Let's talk about identity and the Arizona Cardinals next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
If you're not listening to We Fixed It, You're Welcome, then why are we fixing all these companies?
I just think they need to do a better job at marketing what they already have. That's where I'm saying, like, ooh, this seems like a weird time to be doing this.
You said that was in 2008. The economy is very different.
That tactic has worked, and we've seen it before. That's what I might do because I want to help them.
If you could fix the world's biggest companies, what would you do? Get your fix before Season 2 drops this summer, wherever you listen to podcasts. We Fixed It, You're Welcome.
Chicago Sticks, the Windy Cities Tour. Finally, two iconic bands together for the first time. September 1st, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Chicago and Sticks. All the hits, your kind of tour.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
This winter, step into a world of wonder at the Tianyu Lights Festival, open now through January 4th at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, and Phoenix. Explore the 4 new themes: Bugs Aglow, Colors of Holidays, Rainforest, and Prehistoric Animals, which feature 70 glowing handcrafted lanterns. Enjoy delicious foods and beverages at our food court, explore the interactive lanterns, and complete your visit with a trip to the marketplace where you'll find unique souvenirs. Don't miss this unforgettable holiday experience. Tickets are available now.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. That thud that you heard late last night was the sound of the Kansas City Chiefs crashing back to earth and the ending of their dynasty. Go ahead, throw dirt on them because they are done. You know, this notion that as long as they have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they'll always be a threat. Done. Travis Kelce, done. Their ability to execute when they have to and rip tight games, done. Their stranglehold on the AFC West, done. Their playoff chances this season, also done. Washed, aged, and unable to catch the ball is a terrible way to go through life. And given that that dynasty is now over, you have to wonder if Andy Reid and or Travis Kelce call it a day at season's end. Kelce is not what he used to be, not even close. And Reid can walk right off and wait for his call from the Hall of Fame. Out with the old, in with the new. The Chiefs are toast. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 Brake Best Select rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10 more. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20 more. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Whether you're gifting, decorating, or treating yourself, Lowe's December deal drops are here to help you save more all month long. Get up to 50% off select holiday decor. Plus, get up to 40% off select tools and accessories. Shop new December deal drops every week this month and get so much more out of your holidays. Lowe's, we help, you save. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I want to link the conversation we just had in the last segment about the Phoenix Suns to the Arizona Cardinals. Because if you're just joining us at the top of the program, we talked about the Phoenix Suns, their big win over Minnesota, and we said that it doesn't matter who's in the lineup, doesn't matter who's out of the lineup. The Suns have an identity. It is very clear through the first 24 games what the identity of this basketball team is. They're going to bring it every night from an energy perspective. They're going to bring it every night from a defensive perspective. And you're going to have to work hard to win against them. You might be the better, more talented basketball team. Houston, Minnesota, more talent on that team. But you are going to have to work hard to beat us. And if you let yourself slip a little bit, if you think it's going to be easy to beat the Phoenix Suns because Devin Booker's out, because Jalen Green's out, we got you. We got you exactly where we want you because you are doubting us. We are going to bring it, and you're going to be in for a fight. And before you realize you're in the fight, it's the fourth quarter, and we've got your number. It's very clear what the identity for the Phoenix Suns is. A number of times this year, they've played that exact game, and they've won. So what does that have to do with the football team? Well, originally, I was going to open the program today before the Suns won the way they did last night, and I was going to ask what the biggest issue surrounding this team was. And we were going to try to answer that and then also wonder if it could be fixed this season. Then, as I was getting ready this morning, love a good shower thought, right? Sometimes the best show concepts, my best thoughts in general, come when I'm getting ready for the day. And I thought to myself, what's the identity of the Arizona Cardinals? We just gave you another team in town that has a very clear identity. I can go across the NFL and give you a ton of other teams that have identities. I can tell you exactly what the Rams' identity is. I can tell you maybe not this season, but in general, what's the Kansas City Chiefs' identity? Don't play a close game against them. You're in the fourth quarter, you're going to lose. You're holding on to a lead. It's a one-possession game. You know they know how to finish. They know how to win those games. Philadelphia, maybe not so much this year, but the tush-push in general, right? What does that play symbolize identity-wise for the Philadelphia Eagles? We are going to win this battle in the trenches. We're going to win this battle on the offensive line. We're going to win this battle on the defensive line. We are going to win the trench battle, and we're going to dominate you there, right? Eagles, very clear identity. Baltimore, it's a very clear identity. We're going to run the ball down your throat with our quarterback, with our great running back. We dare you to stop us. You can go across the NFL and you can pick teams that are really good and successful. Houston, defensively, you know what to expect from this team. 2 years ago, when they went on that miraculous run to the playoffs, you knew what to expect from this team defensively. Teams have identities. What's the identity for the Arizona Cardinals? Other than the sarcastic answer of losing, the sarcastic answer of blowing fourth quarter leads, this sarcastic answer of giving up 40 points to your division rivals, what is the answer? What do the Cardinals want to be? Because I'll tell you what, the Cardinals want to be the team that has a lead in the fourth quarter and leans on their defense and their running game. I can tell you what their identity wants to be, and I can point to games against Tennessee, against Indianapolis, and against Green Bay, where they played 100% to their identity. They played exactly the type of football game that they want to play. They lost all 3 of those games. They blew fourth quarter leads. So when I say that I'm a believer in the Cardinals making a change at the end of this offseason, it is because we are about to get to the end of year 3, and this team doesn't have an identity. You don't need a quarterback for that. You need a coach who installs the right culture and installs that identity. And you have a defensive-minded head coach that's going to look us all in the face and tell us that he's a defensive-minded head coach, and they want to run the ball, and they want to lean on their defense in the fourth quarter, and that same defense has given up 40-plus points to division rivals each of the last 3 times they've been on the football field. They've been completely uncompetitive against the NFC West, 0-5 this year in the division. So your identity is not playing well against your division rival. Your identity isn't finishing the games the way that you want to. Your identity is not the running game that you talked about. You're about to enter year 3, and you can't answer the question of what is the identity of this football team. It doesn't take 3 years to find that. I'll give you 2. But in year 3, I want to see it. And I want to see it turn into results. And here we are in year 3, and it's actually the opposite. You're going backwards. And we are going to enter an offseason, and we can't answer that question. What is the Cardinals' identity? And it can't just be a quarterback. I know Kansas City's identity is, hey, we've got Patrick Mahomes and the other team doesn't. But it's also they've got a great head coach in Andy Reid who knows how to win those games in the fourth quarter, has those credentials, has that resume. The Cardinals have a resume that's full of the inverse. And so when I think of the biggest issue this team has going into the offseason, it's not their offensive line. It's not their quarterback. It's not the Marvin Harrison Jr. issue. It's not figuring out who the offensive play caller is going to be. It's not defensively staying healthy. It's none of that stuff. The biggest issue plaguing this team right now is I can't tell you what their identity is. I can maybe tell you what their identity wants to be, but even that identity they've fallen short of this season in games where they've played exactly to that script. That's the biggest issue plaguing this team right now. And it's not an issue that gets fixed over the final 4 games or so of the regular season. It's not an issue that gets fixed in one offseason. To me, if you can't set a culture, if you can't set an identity by the end of year 3 as a head coach, I don't think you should get a year 4. Because what do I have to point to that tells me things are going to change in year 4? That all of a sudden, that identity is going to unlock itself. It's taken Jordan Ott and the Phoenix Suns 24 games to make it very clear to all of you, to make it clear to us. It is no doubt what the Suns' identity is. 24 games. Around the quarter of a season. Jonathan Gannon is about to end year 3, and he can't answer that question to the level that Jordan Ott and the Phoenix Suns can. That is the problem plaguing this team right now. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. You can also watch us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream and chat away over there. It is a Tuesday, which means we've got overreactions. Yes, the Week 15 overreactions coming to you next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
You're listening to The Jim Rome Show.
The Lane Kiffin reinvention arc went from one of the truly feel-good stories in the game to him once again becoming public enemy number 1. I have no issue with him leaving. It's how he left, burning all bridges yet again. You strung Ole Miss along. You turned it into a complete circus, and then you were bent when they wouldn't let you coach them in the playoff? Get out of here with that. It's natty or bust for you at LSU, Lane.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060.
The other day, I couldn't find my belt, and my wife found my belt, and as she brought it to me, she said, "Where would you be without me?" And I wanted to say, exactly here without the belt. In fact, I would have the belt because I would know exactly where it was in yesterday's pants on the floor. But now, we're not allowed to leave yesterday's pants on the floor, so I need a National Treasure-style map to find my one lousy belt.
Seth Meyers, live on stage, Saturday, March 14th, Talking Stick Resort. Tickets are on sale now at TalkingStickResort.com.
One study found that half of all clients are unhappy with their lawyer. The number one complaint, a total lack of communication.
That's why we survey our clients and know over 97% are happy. Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. In this holiday season, I want to give back. So for every home I buy, I'll donate $1,000 to St. Jude. By now, you already know I'll buy your house for cash in any condition, and I'll beat any other offer. And now by selling me your house, you can help out a family at St. Jude. So let's get your home sold quickly. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today. Visit andrewthehomebuyer.com. That's andrewthehomebuyer.com.
The holidays are here and mornings aren't slowing down. Between the to-do list and the traffic, who's got time to cook breakfast? McDonald's does. With the 2 for $5 mix and match deal, you can grab 2 of your morning favorites without missing a beat. Pair up a sausage McMuffin with egg and a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, or mix it up however you like. Hot, satisfying, and easy on your wallet. Start your day smarter and tastier with the 2 for $5 mix and match deal only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers, it's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hi, I'm Aaron, founder of Custom Deluxe Windows, wishing everyone a wonderful holiday season and an extra special thank you to the brave men and women in our military. If you need new windows or doors, call Custom Deluxe Windows today.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
The Chiefs have had some really bad calls against them this year as well. I'm sure everyone listening is going to roll their eyes and say, well, the last 7 years the Chiefs have had great calls. Maybe they have. But there should be no makeups. There should be great refereeing or the best available refereeing every week. And in a lot of games this year, there's been a lot of bad calls. The Chiefs have been part of that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I already know I'm going to step on producer Evan in the NFL news dump with one of my overreactions. So I would like to just apologize in advance. And if you'd like me to, I can just get it out of the way here right off the top.
Just start with
I can use it as my first one.
Just start with it.
Phillip Rivers will lead the Indianapolis Colts to the playoffs.
They need to win, what, 2 more games?
He's a 44-year-old quarterback who is older than his head coach and his offensive coordinator. He's a grandfather, and he hasn't played in, 5 seasons?
So have you seen their schedule?
Am I going to regret this take here?
Yes.
No, hit me with it.
At Seattle.
Win. Just kidding. Not a win.
Home against the Honda Civic.
Oh, they play the Honda Civic?
Home against the Jags.
They can win that game.
In Houston playing the Texans.
That's what makes this an overreaction. And the schedule's not in favor of them. I'm sticking by my guy Phillip, who by the way, by doing this, is restarting his clock to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
It's going to restart the 5 years that he has to.
If he gets to a conference championship, I think he's got a way better chance.
I will tell you right now, this man has the Colts playing in an AFC championship game. I ask for a one-time exemption. Put him in the Hall of Fame at halftime of the game. Do an impromptu ceremony on the field for the guy.
What would be more impressive, when he played in the AFC Championship with a torn ACL, or if he did it at 44 with the Colts?
Anything he does at age 44. There's reporting out there that he could start this week.
We said we were going to talk about this. We were going to argue about this. Riley Leonard has to be the better option just this week.
But he's hurt. He has a knee injury. They're considering him week to week. He might not be able to go. So Philip Rivers might actually be the better option. He's going to lead them to the playoffs. And how about this? I'll add to it to make it a super overreaction.
They're going to win a playoff game.
Win a playoff game. There you go. That's my first overreaction here on a Tuesday.
All right, my first overreaction. The Seahawks will win the NFC.
The Seahawks will win the whole NFC?
NFC Championship, headed to the Super Bowl. So here's my thought.
I think the Rams are better.
The Rams travel to Detroit.
I think the Civic is better.
So the Rams travel to Detroit this week.
Okay.
The Rams then go to Seattle.
So that's it for that. And then they have the Cardinals.
And then they have the Cardinals.
So the Rams
So obviously it's over if they beat Seattle. If they lose to the Rams or the Lions, who are a desperate team right now, could certainly beat them at home. Then you have to travel to Seattle to play the Seahawks. And the Seahawks win both of those. They win the division. And I think going through Seattle is going to be a really tough task for anybody.
The Rams and the Seahawks are both 10-3.
They're both 10-3.
They have 4 more games left.
So they have 4 more. So here's my thought process. So if you're able to beat the Seahawks or beat the Rams, and then you can beat the Colts, the Panthers, and the Niners through the end of the season, the Niners may not be playing for the division spot. They may be resting guys, knowing they're locked in as a 5 seed.
Put some respect on the Honda Civic. They could win this division.
100%. But by the time you get to week 18, you'll probably have an answer on the Niners.
Yes, I think by the time we get there, we'll know what they're playing.
So they may be resting guys.
Could be.
And if you're Seattle and you have a chance to play for the 1 seed, obviously you won't be. I think the NFC is going to run through Seattle.
I think this is an overreaction. Because I don't think they win the division. So I will classify this as an overreaction. Speaking of winning divisions, are you ready for this? The Chargers will win the AFC West.
No chance. No chance.
I'm gonna ask you the same question you just asked me.
Yes.
Have you seen the schedules?
I have not.
Look at the Broncos schedule first. And know that right now, the Broncos are 11-2. They're 2 games clear of the Chargers.
Yes. With 4 to go.
With 4 to go. Let's go through their schedule.
Home against the Packers.
That's going to be a tough game.
Home against the Jags.
That's going to be a tough game.
On the road against the Chiefs.
I think they can win that game, but it's going to be
okay.
tough.
Let's say they go 0-3. It comes down to home against the Chargers, and
if they go, wait a minute. If they go 0-3, you have them at 5 losses.
Yes.
Chargers beat them once already.
So it would come down to the last game.
It wouldn't, unless the Chargers slip up someplace else. The Chargers have
the division record at that point.
The Chargers right now are 9-4 with a win over Denver in their back pocket.
Yeah, but what's their division record?
Their division record is 4-0 in the division.
Okay. Yes, it wouldn't come down to that.
So the Chargers are actually in play for this. The Chargers don't have an easy schedule either. They
so
also
it would
play
be
the Chiefs.
so. I actually don't know. So let's look at the NFL standings here. Let me pull them up.
I have them up.
Okay. So give me the Chargers conference record.
7-2.
Give me the Broncos.
7-2.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what it would come down to in the end. Because even if the Broncos won that game, they would have the same division record.
All the Chargers need is they need to be within 1 game of Denver going into that final game.
So I haven't even looked at the Chargers schedule.
At Chiefs, at Cowboys, home against the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, they could certainly lose one.
They certainly could. But
and listen, obviously everybody in this YouTube chat, everybody listening probably knows my fandom. But, like, what did the Chargers show you last night where you're like, wow? And they played the worst team in football.
Okay. See, this is where you're not allowed to say that. You're the defending Super Bowl champions. I'm not going to feel sorry for you that your team is not playing well.
I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me. I'm asking you to
They're not the worst team in football. They could beat the Saints. They can beat the Jets. They could beat the Titans. They could beat the Raiders. They could beat the Browns. They could beat all those teams.
Now, I don't know if they can.
They could beat the Cardinals. They beat the Cardinals by 30 points right now. They're not the worst team in football. Stop. You can be upset at the way they're playing.
The offensive line is really bad.
I'm not saying they're a great team or a good team. You took us to a place of they're the worst team in football. They're winning the division, and they're going to host a playoff.
Not about the Eagles anymore. Not about the Eagles. The Chargers didn't look impressive at all last night. I mean, Herbert was 12 of 26, and I know he ran the ball well.
Isn't this what this whole segment is about? Overreacting? I'm overreacting to them beating the Eagles on Monday Night Football. Boom. Put him in as the division winner.
You know who did look good in his few carries last night? Is Omarion Hampton.
Yeah, he did return last night for them, too. They squeaked out a fantasy finale of the regular season win by like 6 points.
Nice. As my keeper, and I was happy to see him.
Happy to see him on the field?
Yep. Mike McDaniel will be coaching the Dolphins in 2026.
See, I think a month ago, this is an overreaction by you. I don't think it's an overreaction anymore.
No, I don't.
I think
he has completely held the locker room together.
He has. I think he still needs to win a couple more games to cement it, but I think it's actually a legitimate conversation instead of it being a lock that he gets moved. Now, if you just would have waited an extra 2 minutes, I would have given you an overreaction so you could have been going off on your team. Philadelphia needs a head coaching change is my final overreaction of the week.
Not an overreaction. Not an overreaction.
I think it's an overreaction to say before the season after they win the Super Bowl, this guy's got to go. I think that classifies as an overreaction because they're never going to do that.
No, you can't. No matter how they win in spite of him, and no matter what I thought about him last year, you can't make the change then.
They should.
But
they won't.
Now you can. Now you can. You're being embarrassed for the second time in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like it's falling apart at the seams.
So
that's it. Those are my 3 overreactions.
My last one. The Texans will be playing in the divisional round.
Oof. You're all on board then, huh?
I am.
All on board for
right now. And just because let's take the division winners. The Texans are the 7th seed currently, meaning they would go to New England. They could win that game.
They could. I don't know if they would. They could.
Let's say they go to Denver.
They could win. 3-point play on Houston if they go to Denver.
Right?
Bo Nix is going to turn the ball over.
You think it's good?
Let's say.
Oh
my goodness!
Let's say they go to LA.
I would run to the pick segment.
Let's say they go to LA to play the Chargers.
They can win that game.
Win that game. They'd pick them off 4 times again. They did. How many times they pick them off last year? 5, 4.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, they are the team that has the recipe to pull off a road upset.
And then Jacksonville, same thing.
100%. There you have it. Overreaction Tuesday here on the program. We'll have the NFL News Dump in hour number 2, and I stole producer Evan's thunder with Phillip Rivers. And we talked a little Monday Night Football, so can't wait to see what gets into the NFL News Dump a little bit later on in the program. But when we come back, it is buy or sell to close up hour number 1 of the lunch break. Thanks for hanging out with us, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, 2 doubles. They also walked him 5 times, 4 intentionally. They've gotten to the point where he's getting Bonds treatment. I want you to pitch in shame. If you're going to intentionally walk him, I want you to throw the 4 pitches that look silly because you don't want to face him. I don't want it to be, hey, we're going to walk him and I point him to first base. Nope. I want you to acknowledge that you can't get him out and you throw those 4 pitches.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
You won't believe everything I just saw. I went to Disneyland, and it was the 70th celebration. First, I went to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live, and I danced with Goofy. I even got Dad to do the hot dog dance. He's not bad, actually. At night, I saw this parade. Everything was glowing. There were all these lights and colors. Sorcerer Mickey was there, and Lightning McQueen. So, Dad went to this giant water show with all the Inside Out characters. And I was like, whoa. And then my parents were like, whoa. Oh, and guess what? Bluey and Bingo are coming for real life.
Make memories that last a lifetime during the 70th celebration. From Paint the Night Parade returning January 30th to World of Color Happiness. And with Bluey and Bingo coming soon. Happiness is everywhere at the Disneyland Resort. Visit Disneyland.com for details.
Nothing can stop us now.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
ASU women's basketball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Ladies Sun Devils as they hit the road to take on Penn State. With Coach Molly Miller at the helm, ASU has shown their strength in the court, whether home or away. Join Jeff Munn on the call live this Tuesday. It's ASU versus Penn State. Pregame at 4:30 p.m. and tip-off at 5 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
That's right. ASU women's basketball tonight, 4:30 pregame right here on KDUS AM 1060. Then after that, we'll have NAU men's basketball. That'll start at 6:30 over on KAZG 1440 AM. A little overlap. So a double dose of basketball. And I have, you know what, Producer Evan, before we get to buy or sell, do you mind playing the sounder? Could I get the breaking news sounder here on the Tuesday edition? Major announcement for the lunch break and the listeners of this program. This Friday, on the Football Friday edition of the lunch break, we're working out the final details, but I believe at 12:30, we will be joined by the head coach of ASU women's basketball, undefeated 10-0 to start the season. Molly Miller will join the program Friday at 12:30.
Undefeated start.
Undefeated start. Her coach's show, which you can hear right here on KDUS AM 1060, starts next Wednesday. So ahead of that starting, we are going to have her on the program on Friday, talk about the hot start, talk about everything great going on with women's basketball, and preview what her and Jeff Munn will talk about on the show on Wednesday. So looking forward talking with her on the Football Friday edition of the lunch break. Right now, we got a little buy or sell. Hottest takes in the Valley. Producer Evans got it. What do we got today, my friend?
Last night's Suns win will be one of the defining wins in Jordan Ott's early tenure.
Okay, I like what you did here. By saying early tenure, you've given me permission to buy this, because I think in a couple years we will forget
playoff wins.
Yeah, we'll forget this game and it won't mean something. But I think in the early part of this tenure, I think this is the signature win. It's a coaching win, man. You didn't have Devin Booker, you didn't have Jalen Green. You looked lost against Houston, and it was understandable why you looked lost. You didn't have your top two offensive options. How are you supposed to keep pace? To bounce back as quickly as they did and to play that competitively and to get in the weeds with Minnesota, that's a back and forth game where you got to fight, scratch, claw, and that group hung in there the entire time. That's a big win for Jordan Ott. Huge win for Jordan Ott.
The alignment.
I'm in.
I think there's no other option these days. You got to be all in on the Suns.
By the way, I have the soundboard up, and I think we're going to try to add some more to the soundboard here moving forward. I have a drop that doesn't have a name.
Play it.
Is it going to fit what we're doing?
Probably not.
He took a potty break in a weird spot. Okay, that's what that one is. I didn't have that one tagged in the system. It's just the file number.
And I remember exactly what that was from.
Wasn't it a PGA event?
Yeah, it was. It was the Masters.
Oh, that's right.
Michael Wilson.
Imagine just being in your car right now. You hopped over to the lunch break. You're like, hey, what are the guys talking about today? He took a potty break in a weird spot. That's what that. Where else are you getting stuff like this, ladies and gentlemen? Name another sports talk show that's going to give you this. He took a potty break in a weird spot. Don't know. Doesn't exist.
Best show here in town.
Best show here in town.
Michael Wilson will go into next year as the Cardinals' number one receiver. Had to do it to
Getting
you.
spicy on a Tuesday.
Had to do it to you.
Give it to me again. I need to
Michael Wilson will go into
Will.
next season as the Cardinals' number one receiver.
He certainly should. I mean, he certainly should. Will he? I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is still going to be on this roster.
Wow.
So they're going to treat him like the wide receiver one. What's Marvin Harrison Jr.'s value right now?
Low.
Are you going to dangle him out there? Like, if Tennessee ends up with the number one overall pick, I would dangle Marvin Harrison Jr. in front of them with a pick swap to try to move up to get a quarterback. And by the way, it's starting to, we don't know for sure. I don't think it's a certainty that Dante Moore and Ty Simpson are coming out in this class.
No, certainly it feels like Ty Simpson may not.
So if it's just Fernando Mendoza, the Cardinals are going to lose the bidding war against everybody else.
Move up to take Tyson.
What to what? To have now 3 wide receivers you don't know what to do with?
No. You would have 2. You would trade Marvin Harrison.
Draft
Jr.
an offensive tackle. Draft a right tackle. We're going to talk about the left tackle at the top of hour number 2, by the way.
Most of the MLB free agent signings will be done before the end of the year.
So by the time we get to 2026, most of the signings, no. 2 big ones today, though.
2 huge ones today. Edwin Diaz on a 3-year deal to the Dodgers.
Thanks for starting with that one.
And Kyle Schwarber back on a 5-year deal to the Phillies.
Yeah, 3 years, $69 million for Edwin Diaz. It's the most ever given to a closer on an annual average basis. And then Kyle Schwarber, 5 years, $150 million to return to the Philadelphia Phillies. And yeah, Diamondbacks fans, now you got to face Edwin Diaz in the 9th inning when you go to take on the Dodgers.
The NFL.
They're annoying.
They're so annoying.
They're so annoying.
And like that, to be honest with you, that's a deal that other teams could have gotten done.
Not everybody, but yes, other teams could have gotten that done. Red Sox could have gotten that done. Mets, Yankees, Cubs, Phillies. A bunch of teams could have gotten that done. Diamondbacks couldn't do that.
The NFL has the most parity it has ever had this year.
Who I always hate the takes where you say like ever, right? That's a long
in
time.
recent memory.
And I've only been around this
since
earth for 31
2000.
years. Since 2000. I was 6 in 2000. So a couple of those
since
early
2010.
Since 2010, I would say this is the most parity because you had the Brady years where the expectation was that they were always going to make the Super Bowl. And then it very quickly transitioned into it was Patrick Mahomes. You've had the outliers. You've had the Rams win. You've had the Eagles win a couple, right? You've had those outliers. But in general.
Yeah, and you had like the 2 Giants ones.
Right.
But other than that.
There's like 6 or 7 teams that I could see winning the Super Bowl this year.
And it just feels like the Rams-Bengals one is such a weird one because every other year, it's like, yeah, the Eagles won one. They beat the Chiefs to do it, right? Like you played the Chiefs. It doesn't feel as the Bengals-Ravens season, just what a random Super Bowl in the midst of what was, kind of a run here from the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think you have Brady, because you said since 2010. You've had Brady towards the tail end there. You had Mahomes.
The Broncos defense is there, Seattle.
But in general, those years, you had like 2 or 3 teams that you thought could win.
This year, there's like 8.
I think this year's there's more. So yeah, I will buy this thing.
ASU basketball will find themselves in the NCAA tournament this year.
They certainly need to if Bobby Hurley's going to stick around after this season.
Some impressive wins. Obviously beat Texas in the Maui Invitational.
Yeah, they had a nice run in the Maui.
They beat Oklahoma by 16 the other night as dogs. So off to a great start. They lost home against Gonzaga in a tough one, who's ranked number 8, and lost to USC in the Maui Invitational.
I'm not going to get on you for losing to Gonzaga.
No.
Right? I'm not. And you made a nice run in the Maui where nobody expected you to. Look, this is going to come down to the end of the year in the meat of Big 12 play. How do they perform?
I'll see you in Dayton.
Yeah, right. And that's kind of been the knock is can you avoid that outcome? Can you avoid that scenario? Hour number 1 of the program in the books. When we come back, Paris Johnson Jr., he's hurt. Should the Cardinals shut him down? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Feed a family, make a kid happy.
We're proud to support the 25th annual Operation Santa Claus. You can help make the holidays brighter for families in need by donating non-perishable food, new toys, or children's clothing at Sanderson Ford, Sanderson, Lincoln, ABC 15, or select U-Haul locations. All donations benefit local charities. Visit givetotheclaus.com for drop-off locations and details.
Sanderson, Ford, Lincoln, and ABC 15.
The holidays are a joyous time. If alcohol is going to be a part of your holiday celebrations, plan ahead and arrange a safe ride home. Santa's watching, and so is law enforcement. Brought to you by Raise the Bar in partnership with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Friday, March 6th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails. Live in Glendale. Peel It Back Tour 2026.
Doesn't it make you feel better?
Twin Arrows. Navajo Casino.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. Follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun.
Twin Arrows.
The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrow Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun.
The place to come when you want to have too much fun.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Twin Arrows.
At Zoo Lights, the Phoenix Zoo has everything you need to celebrate the season. Embrace the holiday spirit as millions of twinkling lights transform the zoo into a winter wonderland. With over 2 miles of glimmering tree-lined trails, dozens of animal lanterns, and the tallest floating tree in North America, featuring an all-new Lake Lights show. Warm up with s'mores, sip hot cocoa, and of course, get your photo with Santa. Zoo Lights, presented by SRP. Timeless tradition, endless wonder. Get tickets now at phoenixzoo.org.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
So I know that we're supposed to talk about the Cardinals and Paris Johnson Jr. to start hour number 2 of the program. But I just saw a tweet that I need to share with all of you, and it's from 28 minutes ago, but it's from J.J. Watt. Fun fact learned in a production meeting. Phillip Rivers ran the same offense as the Colts for his son Gunner's high school team this season. Him and Shane Steichen spoke weekly about it, discussing plays and even film. So familiarity with the scheme should be no problem whatsoever. I mean, this story...
That is awesome.
This story just keeps on getting better and better. And again, I don't want to do the NFL news dump before the NFL news dump, but I love this story. I love everything about it. I hope it works.
Me too.
I hope he goes out there on Sunday and throws for 275 and 3 touchdowns. Now...
by the way, I'm sending this tweet to everybody I know.
It's the perfect situation because they can just give the ball to their all-pro back in the backfield.
Yes,
and
they do have the best running back in football.
Like, he could just carry a lot of the load in week 1. But, man, what a sports, man. It just, you can't beat stories like this. Could anybody have predicted 5 weeks ago, in the height of Indiana Jones mania, that this is where we would have gotten to? Nobody would have thought that.
I feel really bad for our guy Daniel Jones.
Well, I mean, lost out on a lot of money, and I don't know what his future looks like. No one's going to sign him. because he's going to miss most of next season. He might get signed late in the year to be on somebody's practice squad again, like he was with Minnesota. He might get signed to be a backup. He might be in the Phillip Rivers boat.
I have another question. So, Phillip's a semifinalist this year?
Well, not anymore. The
Yes.
moment he takes a snap, he's ineligible.
He's ineligible. What if he doesn't take a snap?
I think he remains eligible.
Oh, really? So, if he's just on the sideline?
I don't. Well, if he's on the roster, he's active, right? So he's an active player. So I think since he signed.
So do we vote somebody in now as a semifinalist? Is somebody going to fill that role?
Yeah, it's a great question. Normally, I get these press releases from the Hall of Fame because I'm on their email chain. Don't ask me how. I have no idea how I'm on their email chain.
But I'll be very honest with you. They probably don't even know what to do yet. This just came up. For
Also, I don't know how many times in the history of the NFL this has been a thing, or the NFL Hall of Fame. But let me check my email.
I can't imagine.
There is nothing in my email with an official announcement.
I can't imagine they were ready for this.
I mean, how could you prepare for a dude who hasn't played football in 4 or 5 years coming out of retirement?
He was eligible for the Hall of Fame.
This wasn't on anybody's radar. But you can now understand, but based on the J.J. Watt tweet, why he was the first call from the Colts, because Steichen had been talking with him throughout the year for his son's high school team.
It makes way more sense.
So now they've been talking. He knows. I'm sure they've talked about what kind of shape Phillip's in. It's come up. And so now they can make this decision, and potentially he's going to start on Sunday. Okay, back on track, back talking about the Arizona Cardinals.
I just hope he's really awesome.
I hope he has
last note.
I hope if he plays on Sunday, he has a great game. I can't wait for the NFL look ahead on Friday. If we know by then that he's playing, that's the game of the day.
It's by far the game of the day.
That's the game.
Who do they play?
I don't know. You're the producer of the program. You can tell me. I don't have that tab open on my computer over here. Who they have in week 15.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
I mean, let's see who can do this first. It's probably going to be you because my computer's a little slow.
The Colts play at Seattle. We already did that.
Oh, we did this already. As you can tell, we're not paying attention to anything we actually say on the air because we did this when we did Overreaction Tuesday in the previous hour.
Rivers at Seattle. What do the Colts need to make the playoffs, do you think?
I don't know. Ian Rappaport put out
right now they're the 8 seed. They're out.
They put the clinching scenarios. So the teams that can clinch this week, Broncos, Patriots, and Rams are all win and in.
Broncos, Patriots, Rams.
They're the only teams that just need a win and they're in. Other teams, I think, have some other scenarios. But yeah.
Because New England plays Buffalo.
So they clinch the AFC East division title with a win. They also clinch a playoff berth with a win or a couple of losses across.
Denver with a win, what? That magic number is now 1.
For who?
To win the division. Denver. You'd be 12-2. They're 9-4. Yeah. You would need to win 13. No, I guess you would need to win 14.
They don't have a division clinching outcome this weekend. They cannot clinch the division this week.
No, I think it's next week.
Well, remember, the Chargers and Broncos play, not to do Overreaction Tuesday yet again, they play the final week of the season.
Yes.
So if it's within a game going into that game, it still matters.
The Chargers could win that.
Right. The Chargers could win the division by beating them twice because they will then have that tiebreaker. So, yeah, the only teams that can clinch this week, Denver with a win, New England with a win, the Rams with the win. The only difference is a New England win not only clinches them a playoff berth, but it also clinches them the AFC East. They will win the division. Now, Peter brings up a great point. He says, I hate to say this because I want him to do really well. However, this could go really poorly against the Seattle defense. It's a tough draw this week for Phillip if he does get in there.
Going to Seattle.
To Seattle's a bit of a tough draw. I will say you couldn't give me like New Orleans or Tennessee, right? Like I couldn't get a divisional game against Tennessee as my landing spot for coming out of retirement after 5 years. Like that couldn't be the... No, I have to go to Seattle on the road. So we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, back to the Arizona Cardinals. Paris Johnson left the game on Sunday with an injury. He's now being classified as week to week here for the remainder of the season. And I think it's very fair to have the conversation today about whether or not the Arizona Cardinals should just make what I think is the right decision and shut Paris Johnson Jr. down for the final 4 games. Week to week tells me he's probably not going to play this week. And now you got 3 games to go, and you're going to have to evaluate him in the run-up. And if he plays, he's more than likely not going to be at 100%. And so you're talking at that point 2 games of him at 100%. You're not playing for anything. And more importantly than that, because I know these guys are prideful. I know they want to play as many games as possible. Seeing that on the back of the football card or seeing that on the Pro Football Reference page of how many games you played in, that's important to these guys. You want to be somebody who's known as durable. You want to be somebody who's known as available, because that matters when you get paid on the next contract, right? You don't want that question lingering over you of the dude can't stay healthy. But the Arizona Cardinals have 4 games left to go this season. They're 3-10. They're not going anywhere. And 2026 is a very important season for this franchise. I'm still of the belief that they're going to bring these guys back. I wouldn't do it. I'm ready to move on. Nothing tells me they've changed their mind, though, at this point. So if you're going to bring back Jonathan Gannon, if you're going to bring back Monty Ossenfort, you're going to hand them the keys to the franchise and be a part of the decision-making process to get a brand new quarterback. You have to. There's no wiggle room. You have to win football games in 2026. So to me, the last thing I would do if I'm Monty, if I'm JG, is put a compromised, not 100% Paris Johnson Jr. on the field and risk him getting an injury that keeps him out all of next season. Because I already know I need 3 offensive line starters this offseason. I cannot afford to add a 4th. I cannot afford to go into this offseason if Paris Johnson Jr. hurts himself to the point where he has to miss all of next season. I now need to add left tackle to my offseason grocery list. Can't do it. I can't afford it. I need my superstar talented players. And this team, they have a couple. They don't have a ton. Trey McBride is one. Paris Johnson Jr. is another. I would put James Conner in that bucket. I need those guys healthy for week 1 of the 2026 regular season. I cannot afford to be without my left tackle, my tight end 1, my RB1 going into the start of next season. So I am not going to jeopardize it. I am not going to risk it. It is too risky. Sure, there's a chance he can play next week and he's fine and he plays these final 4 games. But now that he's going to end up on the injury report, he left that game Sunday with an injury. He is being classified as week to week. I'm good. I am not taking any extra chances. I need a roster that is fully healthy and ready to go at some key positions because I need to win football games. And I don't know if I can win football games without Paris Johnson Jr. as my left tackle next year. I don't know if I can get the results I'm going to need to get if I'm Jonathan Gannon to keep my job, if I get a year 4, if I am given the mulligan and I'm allowed to coach this team in year 4, I don't think I can do it without Paris Johnson Jr. as my left tackle. So I'm not taking any extra chances. And a guy that's already going to end up on the injury report now this week is being considered week to week. To me, that is a chance not worth taking. It's not worth it. There's nothing to gain. What is Paris Johnson going to do in these final 4 games that's going to help you in any way? You know what you have in him. There's no evaluating Paris Johnson Jr. He's your franchise left tackle. Don't jeopardize 2026 just to rush him back on the field. And if he wants to push the envelope, Jonathan Gannon has to step in and say, no, I got to protect you. I need you healthy for next year. I don't need you coming back and all of a sudden tearing your Achilles, tearing your ACL, getting hurt because you're overcompensating for this injury. And now I don't have you at the start of 2026. I do think at times in sports we tend to be too risk averse. We tend to err on the side of being conservative with injuries. The NBA has this problem with load management. We tend to go too far to the extreme. Baseball has gotten this way where guys don't play 162 anymore. I agree that it may have gone too far in the conservative direction. This is not that scenario. This is a team needing to understand we've got 4 games to go in the regular season. We need this guy healthy for week 1. I'm not chancing it. I'm not putting him at any extra risk to get hurt and miss time at the beginning of 2026. I can't do it. I need him on the field. I think there's, 5 or 6 players that this team has to have on the field week 1. Paris Johnson Jr. is one of those 5 or 6 players. I think James Conner, Paris Johnson Jr., Trey McBride. I would add Josh Sweat to that list, and I would probably add Budda Baker to that list. You want to add one of the young corners, fine, but I think it's those 5 guys. I have to have them on my team for week 1. If I don't, I'm at a significant disadvantage. So to me, I don't even think it's a question, a conversation. Shut him down. Do not risk it. Do not put 2026. 2025, it's done. It's over. You failed. You missed the mark. Don't now, because you're too prideful, because you want to just win games at the end of the season to show that it wasn't all that bad. Potentially risk 2026. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, the NFL news dump, the top stories. We've hit on one of them throughout the course of the show here today, but the top stories around the world of the NFL, get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
NAU men's basketball over on KAZG 1440. Join the Lumberjacks as they travel down the mountain to take on ASU this Tuesday night. With head coach Shane Burkhardt at the helm, the Lumberjacks know they have what it takes to score a win down in Tempe. Join Mitch Stroman on the call live. It's NAU versus ASU this Tuesday night. Pregame at 6:30 p.m. and tip-off at 7 over on KAZG 1440.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
The Marshall Tucker Band. Get ready for a night of legendary Southern rock and sing along to all the classics. The Marshall Tucker Band with special guest Firefall, bringing their timeless hits. February 28th at the Celebrity Theater. Tickets on sale now at celebritytheater.com. The Marshall Tucker Band and Firefall, brought to you by Danny Salisco Presents.
Hey, Benjamin, we've got a surprise for you.
What?
You've got brothers. Huh? $50 and $200 bills just like you.
Hey.
What's up? What?
We just got them for joining America First Credit Union and opening a new checking account.
And you're all going to live together at America First.
What? This is nice.
For a limited time, new members get a $250 cash bonus when they open a checking account with direct deposit or $50 with a youth checking account. So head to AmericaFirst.com and get your money working today. Membership eligibility, terms, and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
This holiday season, elevate your event at Talking Stick Resort. From breathtaking views and a world-class golf course to 113,000 square feet of flexible event space, every detail sets the stage for an unforgettable holiday party. Whether it's cocktails under the stars or a fully produced banquet with state-of-the-art AV, Talking Stick has it all. Plus a luxurious spa for next-day recovery. Secure your celebration today. Talking Stick Resort, Scottsdale's premier destination for celebration. Life well played.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Eagles might have one of the most talented rosters in football, but like every team in the NFL, they will only go as far as their quarterback can take them. Last season, Jalen Hurts looked like a star when the lights were the brightest. He played with command, accuracy, and a calm edge that helped carry Philly to a title. This year, that version of Hurts has been tough to find. Last night's loss to the Chargers, the latest reminder. He completed barely half of his throws and tossed 4 interceptions, lost a fumble in a game the Eagles mustered just 19 points. With the roster this deep, the game still pushed into overtime against the dangerous Chargers. The bigger picture is hard to ignore. When your quarterback is this inconsistent, it puts every margin under a microscope. The pieces around Hurts are still good enough to make a run, but once January arrives, the competition too strong and the windows get too tight. If this level of play carries on, the climb to a repeat becomes a very, very steep one. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
This holiday season, skip the same old gifts and send something that's truly unforgettable. From Heartland Steak Company, we're talking premium, hand-cut Midwestern meats such as USDA Prime and Choice Beef, all-natural pork, and tender chicken, all delivered straight to their door with care and convenience. Whether you're shopping for family, friends, clients, or anyone who appreciates bold flavor and quality meats, Heartland Steak Co. has something for everyone. Choose from Grill Master packages, holiday gift boxes, or freezer fillers, each one hand-picked, flash frozen, and packed to preserve unbeatable freshness and taste. It's the perfect way to share the true Midwest flavor this season. Ordering is quick and easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And when you order right now and spend $199.99 or more, you'll receive free shipping plus $25 off your order with promo code GIFT. Give the gift of flavor this holiday season with Heartland Steak Co. That's heartlandsteakco.com. And don't forget to use promo code GIFT. Taste the Heartland difference.
James out west.
7 teams to decline a bowl game. I feel like we shouldn't be able to do that.
Certain teams, I can understand. Notre Dame, you're a top-notch team. You have a lot of recruiting you need to retain. I kind of get that. Temple, what are you doing? Who are you to be turning down bowl games? What major recruits are you losing that are in off-season mode at Temple? There should be some parameters around that, but the season is officially over. These are invitations. You can decline an invitation. So I see it from both sides.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. Take us with you on the go. Don't have to just be in your car or listening at your desk. KDUS AM 1060 app, both on Apple and Android devices. Download the KDUS AM 1060 app today. Okay, time for the NFL news dump. The top stories in the world of football. What do we have today on the docket, producer Evan?
Well, you took the biggest one.
I'm sorry. It's such a big story. It's hard to not weave it in.
I will also tell you,
the rest of the show.
The last time the Colts made the playoffs, he was their starting quarterback.
Oh, it just writes itself. It's so good. It's so good.
It is. It's really awesome.
Just to recap, a 44-year-old quarterback who was eligible for the Hall of Fame now is going to reset his Hall of Fame clock by another 5 years to potentially play and miss the playoffs with the Indianapolis Colts. And oh, by the way, he's older than the head coach and offensive coordinator, and he's a grandfather.
And the Colts said,
what if we just took a shot? And they also are saying to the rest of the league,
who cares?
We don't care that he's 44. You got to do something. There are so many drops for this because you know what could happen? We went busto. There are some out there saying, I don't like the play. Some are saying that. I think there are others like myself that
The alignment.
I'm very aligned with this decision. I love it.
They're very aligned, by the way, on the offense, according to J.J. Watt.
Because apparently, Phillip Rivers coaches his son's high school football team, and he runs the exact same offense. Now, I've watched a lot of high school football.
It's pretty advanced offense.
It's like 5 plays most of the time in high school football. So if he's running the Colts offense, they're going to run circles around everybody they're playing.
I was going to say, I imagine they're undefeated.
Can I get a record update for Gunnar Rivers' high school football team? Where do you find that?
We're going to do that. The Chargers beat the Eagles last night on Monday Night Football 22-19 in the playoffs.
Sorry, I'm trying to look up Gunnar
overtime.
I'm trying to look up Gunnar Rivers.
I got it here.
Well, hold on now. I think I can do this.
Do you want to do it?
This is not going as well as I thought it was.
By the way, Gunnar Rivers is a 4-star.
Yeah. Has Auburn, Boston College, Miami offers.
NC State, and South Carolina offers.
This team has to be good. He's got a 4-star quarterback. I'm trying to click on every story I possibly can to try to get an answer to this. I have no idea, though. They went 13-1. They went 13-1. Yeah, well, when you're running that offense, I expect you to. They went 13-1. It's one of the top. Oh, that was last year.
Reaching the 4A state semifinals.
He threw for 3,176 yards and 4 touchdowns. My word. He's a grandfather. He's going to play football on Sunday, probably.
Returning a lot of their starters next year. They had an undefeated regular season. They secured the first region championship in school history. Advanced to the 4A state semifinals. Averaged over 46 points a game.
like I said, running circles around everybody else that they play. 4-star quarterback, and we're running an NFL offense. Have fun. Have fun.
And the coach, by the way.
And the coach was going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback who is one of like 9 quarterbacks in the history of the sport to throw for 400 touchdowns. Insane.
Anyway, the Chargers beat the Eagles in overtime on Monday Night Football.
I know we have more NFL stories. I mean, is there a story better than that one?
No. I mean, that's...
The more we talk about it, the more excited I get about it.
I hope it works. Now, if you ask me to bet on it...
You're going to say it's not going to work.
I don't...
Okay, how about this? Are you going to use one of your plays this week on the Seahawks?
No, probably not, because that would really upset me to root against Rivers.
I want to see what the numbers are right now.
Can we do something here?
Okay, what do you want to do?
Let's see. I want to get confirmation that he starts, I guess, later in the week. What is that spread?
I see it right now. Do you want to try to guess? I have it up.
14?
It's 13.5. It's Seattle minus 13.5. A Indianapolis Colts team that is 8-5.
If Rivers starts, both of our 1-point play give us the Colts plus 13.5. Does the line move either way if Rivers gets announced the starter?
How about this? If by Friday, Phillip Rivers is announced as the starter, I will take the Colts on the money line as my 1 point. I will take the Colts plus whatever the points are as my 1-point play. I'm in. Solidarity. We're just helping team listener out because they can just take the Seahawks and probably gain a point on us. But I will do that with you in solidarity. We will go for Phillip Rivers if he's announced as the starter for this week's game.
I would love to see a Rivers QB sneak on the goal line.
Okay, if he does play, does he throw it more than 20 times on Sunday? Or do they try to run the ball?
No. Listen. You're going to go up to Seattle. You're going to run the ball and try to play the best defense you've played all year. Phillip Rivers last season in 2020 for Indianapolis, they went 11-5. He had a 68% completion percentage, threw for over 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 picks.
I think they're going to try everything in their power to have Riley Leonard start this game. But if not, I think Phillip's just going to play, which is just crazy to say out loud.
That would be so awesome.
It would be great. All right, what else you got in the NFL news, though?
Shedeur Sanders has been named the starter for the Browns for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it certainly played well enough to warrant an extended look.
Yeah, he played well this week.
Yeah. Wasn't on the field for the 2-point conversion attempt, but...
I got to tell you, the people who are big Shedeur Sanders fans... And people who are big fans and work in the media and have a career in football, some of them are very blinded by Shedeur Sanders. He's a very blinding character, I guess.
There's one person in particular that I can think of.
Oh, Mel Kiper?
Oh, I was talking about somebody who writes for The Athletic.
Oh, who are you thinking
I was talking about Josina Anderson.
I didn't see that.
Josina Anderson has been going after the Browns all season long for everything they do against Shedeur.
But it's a very blinding. He's a very blinding character, and I got to tell you, like anybody who was like, "Wow, they didn't have him on the field for the 2-point conversion," you have to remember he is on the Browns. This is one of the worst run organizations in all of sports.
Yeah, outside of having Myles Garrett, it's not going that great for him.
Like 2 years ago, they let Baker walk, and. Not 2 years ago. Years ago, they let Baker walk and traded for Deshaun Watson. That's been a train wreck.
By the way, move over Phillip Rivers. Jason Pierre-Paul back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
JPP.
The 36-year-old who last played in 2022, it looks like.
The 36-year-old. He's 8 years younger than Rivers.
And played more recently. But he is joining
He's 8 years younger.
He is joining the practice squad of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So Rivers will officially start a game in 2004 and in 2026.
Well, we don't know for sure that he's going to start a game.
Yes, that's true. Let me ask you a question. What if they win this week? What if they win, Rivers gets the start, and Leonard's healthy next week?
They win with Phillip Rivers on Sunday at 44 years old. A grandfather comes off the couch and wins an NFL game. He's the starter for the rest of the season. What are you talking about? Riley Leonard, sorry, bud, but a 44-year-old beat you out. Sit down.
I gotta Google this. As a grandfather ever started an NFL game.
They were joking last night on the ESPN Monday Night Football Countdown about Troy Aikman coming out of the booth. And he said, I'm not taking a pay cut. He goes, I could give you third down. I could be a specialist. They were joking about it. That's how silly this story is.
If you were to say there's only been one other grandfather, since George Blanda holds the record as the oldest player. Blanda, 48.
George Blanda was 48.
If you were to say though he was a grandfather, now there's one other one in our lifetime.
He was a grandfather while he played?
Yes.
Who was that?
Brett Favre.
What a list. I mean, what a list that is. Phillip Rivers, potentially going to play on Sunday. That's your NFL news, though, for Week 15. I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, it is one of the craziest stories we've ever covered in the history of this program. A 44-year-old who was on the short list to be a Hall of Famer is coming out of retirement to potentially play for a team that is hanging on, not even in a playoff spot right now, hanging on to being in the playoffs.
Yeah, so guys who last played in 2020, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. I understand it, but like Matt Ryan, he played 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago.
Couldn't give him a shout. How old's he? 40. You can get 4 more years of Matty Ice.
I can't wait for Friday's show. I can't wait for this week to unfold and for us to know if he's playing on Sunday or not. I'm going to turn on alerts on social media for anything about the
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, anything Phillip Rivers or Indianapolis Colts. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you covered over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel, where you can watch the live stream as well. Yesterday, Kenny Dillingham met with the media ahead of ASU's Sun Bowl appearance, and he sounded like a guy who knew who his next quarterback was going to be. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
Sometimes a girl in my class doesn't bring anything to eat for lunch.
The truth is, in America, 1 in 5 kids worry about their next meal.
I want everybody to have yummy food.
So do we. That's why Fry's donates surplus fresh food from our shelves to your local food bank. We've provided over 3.5 billion meals through our Zero Hunger, Zero Waste plan. Visit frysfood.com to see how you can help fight hunger and waste in our community.
Because nobody should have an empty tummy.
All the planning, work, and preparation for the holidays. Why do we do it? In the blur of life, We can take our blessings for granted, distracted by the noise and our own interests. We gather to slow down and reflect on what truly matters, time with loved ones and cherishing simple moments. We gather to choose gratitude. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from all of us at Shield.
For nearly 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Hi, I'm Aaron, founder of Custom Deluxe Windows, wishing everyone a wonderful holiday season and an extra special thank you to the brave men and women in our military. If you need new windows or doors, call Custom Deluxe Windows today.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
What's so funny on the other side of the glass? Producer Evan was getting ready to tell me that I was live, and he's chuckling back there.
Rivers' last touchdown pass.
See, here we go with this again.
Was to Jack Doyle, who retired in 2021.
You just can't help yourself. You just want to look for every single detail about this story. You walked into my room during the break, and you're like, could you imagine what Indie Sports Talk Radio is like today? You're right. I'm sure they're having a field day with it.
If we were in Indy, we would be doing all 2 hours on this.
We basically have been today. I don't know how we got here, but we basically been talking about this since the moment the show went on the air.
I think next guy up for the Cardinals. You think Breeze is interested in being the quarterback next year?
Speaking of next guy up, I'm going to get us back on track. Because Kenny Dillingham met with the media yesterday, did a virtual press conference, media availability ahead of the Sun Bowl, where the Sun Devils will be taking on Duke in the Sun Bowl. And he was asked about Sam Leavitt. Obviously, that was the big story in the news, reports circulating that Sam Leavitt was indeed entering the transfer portal in the wake of the news earlier in the day yesterday that Sam Leavitt was not out there with the team at a team banquet, honoring all of the seniors and honoring the end of the regular season. Sam did not show up to that. We talked about that yesterday. Didn't like the look, just didn't like how that felt. I thought it was a bad optic, a bad look for Sam Leavitt. It's just not the way if I was in Sam Leavitt's shoes, I would have ended things. You want to move on. You want to go into the transfer portal. You want to get more money. You want to find what you think is a better opportunity. I get that. But not being there for your teammates is a totally separate discussion. And I thought it was a really bad look. But as part of that answer that Kenny Dillingham gave yesterday, he also talked about how ASU is going to have a great quarterback next season. And if you haven't seen, and I thought about grabbing the audio, but the audio doesn't do it justice. You actually have to see the video. Kenny Dillingham has a smile that he is unable to contain.
Ear to ear.
I mean, it's like the cat that ate the canary. This dude is trying to keep a secret. This dude is acting like he already knows who the quarterback of Arizona State football is going to be next season. Like, it was so obvious because as he's talking about Sam, he's starting to get that smile and he's starting to try to hold back laughter. Now, I don't know if something was happening in the room around him. I don't think so. I think it's just he knows who his quarterback's going to be and he just is trying to keep it a secret. So that got me thinking, what quarterback that could potentially be available in the transfer portal would generate that reaction? Which quarterback out there would make Kenny Dillingham feel like that? I thought of two names. Two quarterbacks jumped out to me that if they don't stay at their current schools, and in the case of one of them doesn't declare for the NFL draft, they might make me smile that way. Now, producer Evan's probably pulling up a list of all the quarterbacks that have entered the transfer portal or that could enter the transfer portal.
I am. And I know the name you're going to say.
Okay, what's one of the names I'm going to say?
Ty Simpson out of Alabama.
I am not going to say that.
Can I get one of them?
You can take another.
Dante Moore
No.
out of Oregon.
No.
What?
Nope. Not one of those two guys.
Okay.
Because I think if those guys stay, they'll stay at their current schools. I don't think there's a need for those guys to enter the transfer portal. How about Lenora Sellers out of South Carolina, where there are reports that he could enter the transfer portal? That's the type of quarterback that would make me have that type of reaction.
Yeah. That is
that's the type of quarterback that makes me know I know something you don't, and I have to try to keep a straight face about it. And that's the type of quarterback I would classify as great in the college landscape. Now, I'm not reporting anything. I'm just trying to guess because he just looked and sounded like somebody who had like the biggest secret in the world that he was trying to keep.
It really felt as if he was trying to hide something, but was so excited about it. He was like the guy who has great news, but is like, I'm not going to tell you just yet. No, I'm not going to tell you just yet. That's what that interview felt like.
And the other name is CJ Bailey out of NC State. He may stick around, but if he does enter the portal, he had a great year last year for NC State. 2,884 yards, 23 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Was the 13th best quarterback in the nation in terms of QBR. Completed nearly 70% of his passes last year. He was great. Can run the ball a little bit, but can really sling it. 2,800 yards, and he's a sophomore, so you have him for another 2 seasons. Those are the two names. Anybody else that we want to throw in? Because I think that reaction tells me we have to put a ceiling on this. Like you got to be talking about the elite of the elite here in college football that could move in the transfer portal. Like Texas, their backup quarterback hit the transfer portal. I don't think that warrants that type of reaction.
I don't either.
So this has got to be a known quantity. And let me tell you who I don't think, Dylan Raiola. I don't think it's that.
That was the name I was going to invoke.
Because I think Dylan Raiola, over his first couple years in college, has proven that he might be more trouble than he's worth. So would that be the reaction that you would get for that type of player?
If they thought that they could really figure it out with Dylan Raiola, I think that warrants that kind of reaction. You have to remember, Raiola coming out was one of, if not the biggest recruit I can remember.
Oh, he was a massive recruit. Yes.
When Nebraska got him, people thought it would change the trajectory of the school, return them back to what they were in the 90s.
And it never
amounted really to much.
Never got close to that level.
No. But I think that's a player that certainly warrants that kind of conversation.
My reaction to yesterday is the Sun Devils aren't probably going out there doing a massive search. They've got their guy. Now, I had this thought yesterday. ASU going into this season, put yourself back into September, right? I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they brought this up to me. At the beginning of the season, the Sun Devils, fresh off of a Big 12 championship, fresh off of a college football playoff berth, Sam Leavitt, and I know this because the producer of this program talked about this, was being talked about as one of the top quarterbacks in the 2026 NFL draft. No?
Certainly.
That was the conversation we were having in the summertime?
Yeah.
So ASU probably was already internally preparing for a future that didn't have Sam Leavitt beyond this season. No matter what the results ended up being of the
If he played extremely well and they were in the Final Four,
he was going to be off to the pros, right? So that work might have already started. So you hate that he's going to go play someplace else and not just go to the pros, and you're not going to get the conclusion. You're not going to get the closure to the Sam Leavitt era here in Tempe. But the work probably has already been done on ASU side to where Either way, they were preparing for a future without Sam Levitt, so they're not totally caught off guard by this. They're not on the back foot. They're not needing to play catch-up. They probably had part of their scouting staff, because everyone's creating basically the NFL model now anyway, where they have a GM and they have these teams that are set up to look towards the future. They probably gave that group a list of names, and they've been watching and scouting and seeing which player they want to have on their roster next season. So this didn't catch the Sun Devils by surprise. I'm pretty confident in that. And it sounds like Kenny's got his guy. Who that guy is, why it invokes that type of reaction, and again, I implore you to go see the video. Because the dude just looks like he has a secret to keep, and he's doing everything in his power. You now know he's got a secret to keep, but he at least didn't tell you what it was, but you know that he's hiding something.
It is that type of video.
It is that obvious. It is that obvious. So to me, a fascinating conversation to keep an eye on here over the next couple of weeks, because Sun Devils are going to want to move quickly on this because they have other needs to address in the portal.
A ton.
So getting this checked off allows them to focus their pursuits on all of the other positions, right?
And getting a quarterback like this, like if you're able to get a top-of-the-line quarterback, and we talked about it, you sold out every home game this year.
Yep.
You win 8-4, you lost the Territorial Cup, okay. But you need to build on the excitement. And 8-4, after a year in which you went to the playoffs, that's not the year that can continue to build on the excitement. Now, it doesn't tear it down, but bringing in a big-name quarterback after a guy like Sam leaves this program can continue that excitement, continue ticket sales to rise. It's a big get for Arizona State.
480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Our live stream is over there where you can watch the program. When we come back, we wrap up this edition, the Tuesday edition of the show, before we hand things off to Jim Rome at the top of the hour. We do it with a segment we call The Leftovers. All the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the day, we try to get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
The Lane Kiffin reinvention arc went from one of the truly feel-good stories in the game to him once again becoming public enemy number one. I have no issue with him leaving. It's how he left. Burning all bridges yet again. You strung Ole Miss along. You turned it into a complete circus, and then you were bent when they wouldn't let you coach them in the playoff? Get out of here with that. It's natty or bust for you at LSU, Lane.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns. With special guest, Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at LiveNation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now.
Everybody Scream. Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
I have a great idea.
Oh boy.
Here it comes. Let's go caroling.
Don't wanna.
Gary, I love the holiday spirit, but this is a busy time at Alaskan AC.
Don't wanna.
Folks are calling for repairs. We have Alaska vacations to do.
I don't wanna.
Yeah, and that. I don't wanna.
Oh, come on. Here, look at the sheet music.
This song?
Oh, I see where you're going.
It goes like this.
If you want your furnace to last all winter long, with an Alaska foundation, it will always blow strong.
Ah, yes. Really get you in the spirit.
I'm not sure we should go door to door and
That's
sing.
a great idea. We'll go door to door and sing. A 1 and a 2.
If you want your furnace to last all winter long, with an Alaska foundation, it will always blow strong.
We'll get snowballs thrown at us.
People will have snow brought in just to throw at us.
You guys are on the naughty list.
I'm good with that.
Makes no difference to me.
Oh, Grinch. Schedule an Alaska vacation at AlaskanAC.com.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
The Chiefs have had some really bad calls against them this year as well. I'm sure everyone listening is going to roll their eyes and say, well, the last 7 years the Chiefs have had great calls. Maybe they have, but there should be no makeups. There should be great refereeing or the best available refereeing every week. And in a lot of games this year, there's been a lot of bad calls. The Chiefs have been part of that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
All right, what crazy stat do you have to start the leftovers with there, producer Evan?
Crazy stat? No crazy stat.
I just thought you would continue the Phillip Rivers thing into the leftovers.
No crazy stat. But
oh no,
we got an MLB trade.
We do.
The Los Angeles Angels are acquiring infielder Vaughn Grisham in a trade with the Boston Red Sox.
They're getting back outfielder Isaiah Jackson, it looks like, in that deal. I also saw, did you see the 4 names that are a part of Team USA?
No.
Kyle Schwarber.
Nice.
Will Smith.
Nice.
Gunnar Henderson.
Nice.
Bryce Terang.
Nice.
All a part of Team USA's roster for the World Baseball Classic. By the way, Isaiah Jackson should be familiar to those who listen to this program because he was a former ASU Sun Devil, was the Angels' 8th-round pick out of Arizona State in 2025, and he was traded to the Angels for Vaughn Grisham earlier today. A lot of activity in baseball. Starting to heat up. The hot stove's getting hot.
It's getting hot. It's getting hot, and that brings us into our next story. Kyle Schwarber back to the Phillies. We touched on that. 5 years, $150 million. Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers on a 3-year, $69 million deal. Those are the first 2 big free agents.
Yeah, big moves happening, and now we're still waiting on Kyle Tucker. Still waiting on Cody Bellinger, Bo Bichette, right? The big names at the top of the hitting side of things. Pete Alonso out there as well. You look on the pitching side, Michael King. Ranger Suarez still out there. You look at the trade market, what's going to happen with Hunter Green, what's going to happen with Mackenzie Gore. Tarek Skubal is a name that's just kind of floating out there in perpetuity. Scott Boras named about 18 teams in his quote that are apparently interested in Cody Bellinger. I don't want to hear it again. You read it to me during a break. I had a separate instance. My buddy texted it to me because he knows how much I hate Scott Boras' nonsense.
It's awesome.
So I had 2 people, independent of one another, share this with me.
It's so awesome. Do you want me to read it?
No, I don't. But if you'd like to for the listeners, go ahead.
Let me find it again. I gotta pull it up here on Twitter.
Oh, I have it. I can do it.
Oh, you can?
Oh, sure. I have it here in my...
That would be lovely.
This is Scott Boras today meeting with the media about where the talks are with Cody Bellinger. Quote, "It's not for me to judge, but great players see red if they have a big bat yanked out of their lineup. I haven't met a team that dodges a 5-tool player. To fill PHIL, the center field need is a giant step towards the playoffs. North and South outfielders that fly with power, they're rare birds. In the offseason, there's a lot of startup to organizations. And for that reason, there's a lot of angel investors that are looking for a very versatile outfielders. So other than that, Belly doesn't have much interest." So if you didn't see what he did there, he name dropped the either Red Sox or Reds, the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Giants. Rare birds could be the Blue Jays. He mentions the Angels. He says North and South outfielders. Could he be talking about the 2 Chicago teams? I don't know. But he did Scott Boras stuff yet again. You love this. I hate it.
I got another all-time favorite from him. "If you have Suarez in the postseason, everyone knows you're armed and dangerous."
Oh, it's just I don't know what it is about it, because I think he's just being in on the bit. These are clearly pre-prepared, but they're just so annoying. It's too forced. It's too over the top.
You want to hear a Zach Allen?
No,
one?
not. I heard this one already. Is there a new one?
For Zach, it's side quality. Never crude, always refined. When you pull up to the pitching pump, a gallon is always premium. He's exactly a rotation fit, no doubt.
I think the previous he was talking about like a quart or something. Was I think when they did the owners meetings, the GM meetings, he had something funny to say then.
I can keep going.
No, I'm good. I'll pass. I'll pass.
This one's awesome. In October, it's Alex. It's Alex in Wonderland. It's a regularly scheduled event, no doubt.
I just listen. He's great at what he does. He gets his clients a lot of money. That's why they hire him. And clearly doing shenanigans like this doesn't hurt him. And it's become now a yearly tradition where everybody just gathers around Scott Boras so he can, tell fables and it's story time with Scott Boras. But
it's the best time of year. The Phillies also extended Rob Thompson through 2027.
Yeah, a manager getting an extension for I think his contract ended at the end of this upcoming year. So they added 1 year onto his deal?
They
added him through 27. So
so through 26, through 27.
So they
I
added
get my years right.
They added 1 more year on his deal, and we'll see if we even have baseball in 2027.
So that's fine for the Phillies. They extended him, so he's not lame duck, but they're not going to play in 27. So
I would say right now at their current impasse, I'm betting against 2027 playing.
Also, Tarek Skubal from the Tigers president is not untouchable from offers.
Yeah, they basically said that nobody's untouchable. And I think that's a fair way to look at things as an organization. You're always going to listen. I do think it's a bad look if Tarek Skubal gets traded from the Tigers. And I think that would look bad on them. But if they get a deal they feel that they can't say no to, I understand listening. And that's what we've long said on this program. I'm always in favor of a general manager listening. I always think it's the right thing to do to listen. Listening is not being disrespectful to your players. It's not being disrespectful to your organization. It is your job as a general manager to entertain and field anything that gets put in front of you, even if it's just to say, you're not even close, no thank you, even if it's to be very dismissive and move on. I think it is your duty to answer that phone and look at it through the lens of, does this make our organization better short and long term? So I don't mind them listening. I don't mind them saying nobody's untouchable, because I do think in most cases, players are untouchable. Like, I think right now we would say Corbin Carroll and Geraldo Perdomo are untouchable.
Untouchable.
If the Dodgers, I just want to be outlandish for a second. If the Dodgers said, we'll trade you Shohei Ohtani for Corbin Carroll, is Corbin Carroll untouchable anymore?
No.
Right. So everybody's untouchable until a team meets your price. And your price may be outlandish. When GMs and owners use the term untouchable, what they are basically saying is, we have a value that is so out of this world that no team is going to be able to hit it. That isn't until a team hits it. And when they do, you have to completely reevaluate your priorities as an organization. So I'm not surprised that they're going to entertain things.
Last baseball story of the day for you. Jeff Kent over the weekend was not inducted, but voted into the Hall of Fame for Major League Baseball. The former second baseman is the all-time leading home run hitter for second baseman.
Yeah, somebody who had a very interesting candidacy when he was on the regular ballot. Now he went to the Veterans Committee, and the Veterans Committee put him in. And it's a very interesting case study in what's important at a position. Played for a bunch of different teams, had success in a bunch of different places, and he just kind of fell short over and over and over again. But the body of work is a very compelling case for somebody to be a Hall of Famer, and the Veterans Committee felt like he was deserving. What will be interesting to me is what hat he wears.
I was wondering that too. So obviously all the teams, I'm trying to see what team he spent the most. San Francisco is the team he spent the most time on. He won the MVP as a Giant. And you imagine that's the hat he'll wear.
That's the lean.
Met is probably an option if he could wear a Mets hat. Dodger at the end of his career, I doubt we'll see him in a Dodgers hat.
I think it's Giants or Mets, or he goes with just
the MLB hat.
MLB hat. That's my guess of things. A very baseball-centric edition of the Leftovers today.
Because we had the NFL news dump and Philip Rivers. And
That's fair. That's fair. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We will talk to you tomorrow. See ya.